Hi, welcome back to the 3Ls podcast. And this is episode 3. My name is Gayle. I'm a digital marketing consultant and business coach. And we have Kim.
I am a copywriter and marketeer. And today we are talking about social media fatigue, aka we're sick of social media.
We're sick of social media, but we can't avoid it because it's our life's work and it's everything that we do.
Yes.
Everything is ingrained on social media and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So,
And I'm hearing it a lot more recently, also from people who aren't working in marketing. So I think it's like a human being thing,
it's a hot topic.
like a marketing thing, or so I thought it would be an interesting topic to, just hear our perspectives about it. So
I just want to
first of
interject
all,
before we get started on that. Sorry, that was a really negative start from me. And I'm really sorry about that. I love what I do. Believe it or not, I do love what I do. But as Kim is saying, we're going to talk about social media fatigue, and you'll understand why I probably had that response then. But I don't want to come across as negative. Sorry about that, guys.
No, and I think it's something that is very now. So yeah, what it is, it's basically because we are so overwhelmed and overloaded with so many different types of media, and where everything is on our phone. And like, if you try to find the news, you're looking on, I don't know, social media to like find the headlines. And it comes to a point where we have a little bit of like resistance towards social media. And I think it's, like I said, I think it's more a personal thing than like a business thing, because I hear it a lot more. I think where it kind of started, like the overload of being online, I think got another layer added to it during COVID. You were on your phone the whole time.
And that's the only way you could connect with people.
Yeah. And with Zoom, everything. So that's actually where the term, so it's actually media fatigue is what they're calling it, or online fatigue. And they have Zoom fatigue and social media fatigue, but it's basically just because we're so overloaded with the information that we're getting, that we are, we're just a little full. And so that's kind of what it is. And Gayle, I think yesterday you put something on your stories that you were overcoming that and dealing with that. So can you tell us a little bit about like how it manifests in you? What
I just avoid it, except I can't. So like I say, I love what I do. I really do. I've been doing this for years and I still get a really big thrill out of it. However, the social media stratosphere, and I think probably actually my recent bout of this coincides with the release of Threads. Because it's another platform.
Which we talked about in last episode.
Yeah, which
you missed it.
Check out the last episode, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's another social media platform. It's another thing to have a strategy for. It's another thing to think about. And I know that from a personal perspective, some people might say, oh, Instagram's lost its fun and it's not as, nice to be on these platforms anymore. But from a business perspective, where you don't really have any choice, that you have to show up on these, when there's that added element of, almost not, I mean, obviously you have a choice, but when there's that added element of, if you don't do it, the impact of it is this. Like, if I don't show up personally on my social media accounts, no one really gives a shit. They might check in, I might message me or whatever, hey, what's going on in your life? But it shouldn't take me disappearing from my personal accounts for us to have that personal connection anyway. But if I don't show up on my personal accounts, the world isn't going to fall down. If I don't show up on my business accounts, which
also the world won't fall down, by the way.
Well, it won't, but my business, I mean, I'm going to bounce around with this a little bit while I kind of process my thoughts, I think. But my business actually doesn't suffer, to be honest, because I have built strategies that don't rely solely on social media. but I do have to use social media stringently for my clients. And you get, there's a couple of reasons I think why I get fatigued before we start talking about how it manifests. There's a couple of reasons why I get fatigued. First of all, it's the feeling like you just have to be on there, and the pressure to be on there, and the pressure to be getting results and all of that kind of stuff. But also the second thing, and I think this is a little bit of a bigger thing for me personally, it's just sheer boredom. You log on to
a that's what I was gonna say.
You log on to a social media platform at the moment, you scroll, you'll see within 2 minutes, if that, you'll see 7 reels that use the same audio. You'll see 7 carousels that are the same there's no originality anymore. So I'm just seeing, and I honestly, I'll kind of like log on and I'm like, oh, I'm not inspired. I'm not having fun. I'm not learning anything. I'm not, nothing is stimulating my brain. It's boredom. And we've all heard the term boredom scrolling, just mindlessly scrolling. And I found myself doing that recently. So that's one way it manifests for me, and I just kind of boredomly scroll. Yeah. And the second way is I just avoid it.
This sorry.
No, okay. I just avoid it when I'm bored.
Because I have with the boredom. So social media, I haven't used it as much for business yet, because I've had most of my clients coming from my network. And you're right, the pressure that I feel that I need to be on there is quite high, and I don't like it at all. And I don't like it in that sense, but I use it a lot, or I used it a lot for, personal entertainments, I guess. So lately, it was very specific. So I like scrolling, and I just basically like to watch funny animal videos. That's all I want to do. I just want to look at happy animals doing stupid things. Like, that's all I want to do on Instagram at the moment. But I was scrolling through it, and you get all these same audios. And there was this song a little while back that was trending, and apparently I liked a couple of things with that song underneath it. And then my partner, he was like, why do you listen to this song the whole time, and why only that bit? And I didn't even realize it, but when he said it, I got more aware of the audio, and I was like, holy shit, it's all the same. And it's all the same, like semi-inspirational, like, look at me journaling in the morning, and look at me having my healthy cup of coffee, and like, I don't know. I there's a couple of people that I really enjoy following, and they are comedians that make me laugh, or they are photographers that really have something unique to show. The boredom scrolling turned into like frustrating scrolling.
I get frustrated too. Like, there's no, and I mean, you're a storyteller, and we've had conversations about this a couple of times offline. Even it's not just a social media problem anymore. It's a media, it's a storytelling, it's a life problem. There's no originality. Let's take it a little bit wider. Even Hollywood is remaking things, like no one's coming up with anything new. There's no new stories, there's no new approaches to anything. We're looking at other people and we're seeing what they're doing, and if it's working for them, we're trying to copy it. But I think it's ironic because people are so fixated on trending that it's almost like you would do better to not trend, to be honest. Because the only way to stand out these days is to not trend.
It's very true. And I don't remember who said it, but there was an artist who was saying, like, people are writing songs to get trending on social media instead of bringing out good songs. And that's just
if you are creating posts, bringing it back to social media, but if you are creating posts for the sole purpose of trying to go viral, what value are you adding to the people that you're actually on there to serve? Because your objective there, your goal is not aligned with the approach that's actually going to help you hit it. You're focusing too much on trends and going viral and bringing in followers, you're actually probably isolating yourself from the very people that are going to do that for you organically if you just create content for them.
Yeah. And how do you do that with your clients? Like, are you trying to stick to them? You know, I know you're very obviously high on strategy. Like, you say, no, we're going to stick to the strategy and not to that another like trending song that you've seen 700 times.
With my clients, I can't remember the last time I used a trending song, and not because I'm actively avoiding them, but because it just doesn't fit into the strategies that we use. Because I never build a strategy around the idea of going viral. And we can talk about this actually on another podcast, maybe in a future episode, but going viral is not always a good thing. It's not always a good thing for your business. And so I teach my clients not to chase virality, because I mean, I had a client, I had a client who last year went a little bit viral. She had an influencer that I don't know who this woman is, but she shared a product that she just happened upon, and it was my client's product. And so my client started getting this influx of followers, and she did get some orders out of it, but she started getting this influx of followers. And so we had a bit of a slight emergency meeting. How do we capitalize on this? How do we really kind of make the most of this for your business? And unfortunately, we didn't because we were scrambling and everything was last minute. We weren't prepared for it. But she felt very overwhelmed by going viral, and she wasn't prepared for it. Like I say, she had no processes in place. And in the end, it didn't really do anything for her business. Not in the long term. She had a flurry of a few orders here and there, but it tapered off really quickly. And then we're back to and if you're constantly chasing, she could have gone, she could have gone to me, I want that again, how do we make that again? Luckily, she's a little bit more, she's willing to take the direction and listen when I say let's not be chasing that. And we've grown organic growth and even paid growth, paid ads and all. It's obviously not as quick as you do go viral and overnight you get 20,000 followers or even 5,000 followers, whatever it might be. But the question is, we're going a little bit off topic here, but it's hard to go down this road of going viral. But the question is, those 5,000 followers, what are they adding to your bottom line? So
Well, where I was gonna bring it back to social media fatigue, because you have to go to social media. Like, I mostly work in Word, so I can avoid it a little bit, but you really can't. But if you have like clients that work in strategy and not where you also have to watch like what's the latest trending video or something, and you have to like recreate that and make your client dance, I'm just
my clients going on a little rant. My clients, I will never make my clients dance. I would never make my clients do anything that they didn't feel. If they want to dance, fine, go for your life. But I think.
But is that why? Is that like because you're so focused on adding value or being original, that as a social media content creator, basically, or like manager, like to create content, that you don't feel it that much in your work, but more when you have to make it for yourself or in your private life, you feel that fatigue. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think that is another element of it for me, is that I'm so focused on getting the results for my clients and busy getting the results for my clients and creating their content as well. I don't think I've posted on my own social media account for at least 2 weeks, if not longer. Maybe it might even be coming up to, I'm just looking at the date, it might even be coming up to a month now. And on one side, there's the kind of, well, you're a social media manager. If you're not posting on social media, then you can't be, you're not showcasing your skills, and people are going to look at you as an inactive account and not going to want to work with you. But I just want to highlight, social media managers are so busy, and you kind of want it this way as a client. They're so busy working on your account. They don't have time to work on theirs. It's like a double-edged sword. So there is the element of time. But yes, there is the element of, when it comes to my own stuff, every day this week I've had the intention of making a post. And when it's come to, and I've got my strategy for this month and I've mapped out my content and I know what I should be posting. When it's come to it, I've kind of gone, oh, I'll do something else. I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered.
Yeah,
there's no enjoyment in it anymore.
No, I have the same. And I had yesterday, because for as a business owner, you feel like you have to go there because it will create clients. Also, it will create like a community and whatever. And because of that social media fatigue that I feel as a person, so I'm not talking as a business owner or as a professional, but as a person, I feel like I feel bored with Instagram. And so, yeah, I'm a Sagittarius. So boredom is like, I try to avoid it like the plague. And so if I can avoid being bored, I will, basically. So what was I going to say? Because as a person, I don't want to go there. As a business owner, I feel under pressure that I have to go there. So yesterday I had a coaching session and we talked about other channels, which is a lot more work also. So it's not like, it's everything is a lot of work when you want to get high quality leads and clients and stuff. But I do feel like, because I feel fatigued in my private life, like as a human being, I feel resistance when it comes to creating my own for my business. But I do enjoy creating content for clients. So it's a very interesting dynamic how it's manifests itself through our lives, I guess, like.
I
hope that makes sense. I don't know.
No,
I feel like I'm rambling.
Makes sense. No, I don't think you're rambling at all. I think, everything you've said makes sense. I've made a note here just before we started recording this. We were having a little conversation. I've made a note. Is it generational? Do you think that what's the generation? So we're millennials, right? As much as I try to avoid that term for a long time because of the connotation. Is it Gen Z that comes after us?
Yeah.
So
that comes after us.
Are Gen Z as fatigued by social media as we are?
I don't know, because I feel, interestingly enough, I feel like the more OG creators, that are more millennials, and the Gen Z, I don't know. It's an interesting
Could it
question.
Be an element that we've just been at this? I mean, I think you've been a copywriter and marketer as long as I have. So it's been 15, 16 years.
Yeah.
Could it just be that we're fatigued? As much as I want to bring it back to, I love what I do, but could it just be that we're fatigued by the constant change, the constant chasing, the constant having to switch and bait and flip around, and you've made a strategy and then the social media profile or platform has brought out something new, so you've had to change that strategy. What was working last month, what isn't working now? What was working yesterday is no longer relevant. Maybe we're just tired.
Are you saying that we're getting old?
I think I might be. I think I might be. But maybe we're just at that point in, like, and I would really like to open this up to the audience, actually. And professionally and personally, if you use social media for one or the other or both, how do you feel about social media recently? Because like I said, my fatigue has kind of coincided, and I would say this is the worst bout of fatigue that I've probably felt. But my fatigue has coincided this time around with the release of Threads. And I don't know if it's directly related, but Threads came out and I was like, I've not logged onto Threads for a while. I don't want to be on social media. I don't even want to be on my phone at the moment. I finish my day. I'm wondering if it's kind of like a chef, right? The chef cooks all day. Last thing they want to go home is cook a 3-course meal. Last thing they want to do when they go home is cook a 3-course meal. So they shove a pizza in the oven. I'm on social media all day for my clients. I'm thinking about talking about acting out social media all day for my clients. The last thing I want to do when my workday is finished is work, because social media is work. So I wonder, I'm looking at it through the lens of a marketing person and a social media expert or whatever. I wonder if the general population feel the way that we do.
Not just Gen Z.
not just Gen Z, general population as a whole. The muggles of social media. I wonder if they feel the same way that we do, you know?
Yeah, I'm curious too. I'm very curious about that. And for me, like, it comes back to that originality. Like, I'm also, I feel like Netflix, like the films, everything seems to be similar to what's already been done.
Do you know what I watch on Netflix and Disney at the moment? Reruns of things that I've seen 1,000 times.
Yeah.
I can't be asked trying to choose something new and commit to it and get into it and figure out what's going on. And also, when I do, I'm recently left bitterly disappointed. So why not just rewatch Grey's or rewatch Criminal Minds? I know what I'm getting. I know I like it. Maybe that's a lesson to kind of bring into social media too. Like, I don't want to follow anyone new and get to know anyone new. I'm just going to stick with the brands that I know and the people that aren't fatiguing me and are giving me something to stimulate my brain. Something for brands to potentially bear in mind when they're figuring out their strategies for social media at the moment.
I think that's a good way to end this topic. Like, try to get like the originality and also the comfort of how things work.
Familiarity.
Jesus, I sound really old right now. But
what we're saying is we want familiarity. We want something fresh and new but familiar.
Yeah.
And if you can find that sweet spot, then you're laughing.
Yeah.
I think social media fatigue is definitely a thing.
Yeah, definitely let us know how you guys feel. Oh, sorry.
Just as a little bit of an extension, I have actually just finished a coaching session with a client, and she was saying something similar to this actually, in that, she was talking about caption writing, and I was saying I've been keeping an eye on your captions, and I think your recent captions have been fantastic, to be honest. And how's that impacted your engagement? And she was saying she got bored of writing captions to fulfill the business purpose. So what she started doing is she's just started kind of telling a story, and if people resonate with it, great. She's finding that people are engaging more with her telling a story, a genuine, authentic story about her life, relating it to her product. They're reacting and engaging with that better than when she curated a specific caption that follows a format, blah blah blah, to fulfill an objective. So again, another potential key takeaway for people out there that are kind of, oh, my engagement isn't great and I'm a bit bored of social media. Maybe we should all just throw it all out the window and just start being ourselves again. Stop copying other people. Stop worrying about what people are thinking about your captions. Let's just write whatever we want to write. And if people like it, they like it. And if they don't, they don't. You're not trying to please everyone.
And then instantly things get more fresh and original. Like, as soon as you get authentic,
and you will start to enjoy it more.
Yeah.
And I think that's the key. For me, the enjoyment at the moment has gone.
Yeah.
If you enjoy it more, you'll show up more.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd love to hear from people listening.
Finished talking.
Yeah, I know. We nailed it.
We nailed it.
Let's go home. Let's get a beer.
Yeah.
Margarita, anyone.
But for people who are listening or watching, let us know what you guys think of social media fatigue. Do you feel it? Do you feel it as a business owner or as a person? And how do you deal with it? And what do you think is the reason that happens? Because if we can figure out those reasons, then we can maybe, move past it as a whole and
how has it changed? How has it changed since you started showing up more for your business? How has it kind of impacted your relationship with social media from a personal perspective? Do you still show up on your personal accounts?
Yeah,
I think as well. But yeah, let us know in the comments. I would be really, really keen to hear from other people.
Me too. Yeah.
All right. Shall we call it
Me too. I think so.
Let's do it.
Thank you all for listening. If you like this episode, subscribe, follow us, and
share it. If you can share it, this is a new podcast. We're trying to get out to people that this is going to potentially help, and everything that you do to interact with this helps with that. So we appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next week.
We will.
Bye.